Hello and welcome back to 999. Sorry for any background noise. It'll probably be done in like 30 minutes or something, but well, more background noise than normal. Can't really do anything. Last episode, went through the keys. We got some new tech, new scenes, and we're on our way to a proper ending. That will probably not lead us to our death. For once. But before we do that, apparently I missed, I think it was engine room. We missed apparently Santa's story about Santa Claus is different. Ooh. You telling me I have to solve stuff? This better be worth it. Can I even get to it? I don't know if I care enough. If I have to actually do the whole puzzle thing again. I mean, I guess it's pretty easy, but I don't really want to. Yeah, I think I'm not doing that. If it's really important, then I don't know, maybe another time, but I don't think I want to do a whole escape room just for a change scene. That's not even in the scene option. So, can't be that important. Unless it's here? Maybe? Wait, no, it can't be here. Wait. I'm trolling? I meant here? They have the same freaking name. Okay, here we go. This should be different. Given the circumstances...
さあ、順平君、私とサンタはここで。
別に見張る必仮に扉が閉まっちまったとして
まあ、だったら3人で。
いや、俺は。
This is the same.
君を。
とにかく、
Jumpy.
ちょっと額に。あ、本当に。
間違えた。順平くんは心配性だな。
Sorry, I had to pause at that pun. It's a very good one. It's a good joke. Don't disrespect that, Junpei.
行く？
あ、そうか。出口の。
Alright, let's see the difference.
何を見てるんだ？写真だよ。妹の。
妹？サンタさんには。
ああ。
身長が2ミリ。
That was also a good joke. I remember that.
2ミリじゃ痛いですよね。ごめんなさい。
それで？俺はあいつにとってのサンタクロース。俺たちには両親がいなくてな。
Oh, okay. This is new, I think.
あいつにとっての父親。
Yeah, okay. It's definitely new. So, he was orphaned at a youngish age.
毎年クリスマスにプレゼントを送ってやるのも俺の役目だった。
Oh, this is like, okay, so no Santa lore at all. This is just straight facts, I think.
イブの夜、枕元にこっそりとそいつを置いといてやるんだ。すると翌朝、あいつは満面の笑みを浮かべて俺の部屋に飛び込んできて、お兄ちゃん見て見て、 サンタさんからのプレゼント。私が欲しかったお人形、サンタさんがくれたんだ。
The Sanda. I like it.
あのお手紙、今年もちゃんと届いたんだね。でな、手紙ってのは俺があいつに書かせたもんだ。欲しいもんを書いてサンタさんに送ろう。そう言ってな。宛先は北欧のデタラメな住所。そいつに切手を貼ってポストに投函させる。すると何日か経って宛先不明で自宅の郵便受けに戻ってくるから、俺はそれをあいつよりも先に手に入れて開封するんだ。で、その1年間にたっぷりと貯めた小銭を握りしめて目的の店へと走る。毎年毎年俺はそうやってあいつにプレゼントを送り続けてき
It's
た。
very interesting that he somehow turned into an investor off of, which I assume which meant he had a lot of money even before like making a bid with the pharmaceutical company. Junpei was silent. He could think of nothing to say. Jun looked down, uncomfortable. Spacing? The wall next to him suddenly groaned. Either he hadn't heard the sound or didn't care. Santa kept talking.
ところがある年のことだった。手紙の内容にちょっとした変化が。その年の手紙にはあいつの欲しいものが何も書いてなかったんだ。代わりに書かれていたのはこんな言葉だった。今年はプレゼントはいりません。その代わり願い事を一つ叶えてください。ずっとずっとこんな風に幸せな日々が続きますように。だが俺は結局その願いを叶えてやることができなかった。サンタクロースとしては。
Santa looked sad. Junpei had never seen him look sad before. He wasn't sure if he liked it. Junpei decided it was probably best not to ask Santa any more questions. But
何かあったんですか？
Jun glanced up at Santa quickly as she spoke. He answered, but only with an effort.
死んじまったんだよ。殺されたんだ。今から9年前に。
There's nothing Junpei could say. His heart felt like a great lump of lead. Jun bit her lip and looked away. Her face was pale.
最後。
Yeah? You okay now? Okay, well. Oh, let's go for a bit. Junpei and Jun looked at one another. There was nothing they could think of to say.
おい、何やってんだ。早く行くぞ。
行きましょう。
Okay. Well, actually, I was gonna say that in last episode, I thought Santa was like the most suspicious person on my list. Because basically, what did we learn? We learned more connections for the brain stuff, that Lotus knows it, and Santa sort of has that idea too, which is interesting. Ace doesn't have any indication of knowing it, which is interesting, but I guess the biggest piece of information is that we learned Ace is the CEO of the pharmaceutical company. But what I thought was so suspicious about Santa was we know, or at least he claimed to have made a lot of money off them in one of the beginning puzzles. This one, to be exact, in investing. And I don't think he made that up because it's not like he initiated the conversation. We just randomly talked about investing, and then he's like, oh yeah, investing. I made money off of the pharmaceutical company a couple years back. So the fact that he was like surprised, or he acts like he didn't know that Ace was the CEO of the company when he made a lot of money and was a investor in it, seems a little shady to me, and makes me think he is hiding stuff when he's hiding the fact that he already knew who he was in the conversation we had with him. I don't really know what that means. We know that the pharmaceutical company's new drug came out 6 years ago, so 3 years after this ship's incident. And just from the scene we had now, which is very important, and I'm glad I actually read it, shows that maybe Santa's little sister was involved in that incident, which could be that, which is interesting, but it also means that he was involved with the pharmaceutical company that seems to connect everything post the incident. So it makes you wonder, like, if he knew about it, and if it really makes me feel like he's a mastermind suspect, like pretty hard, and this is like some sort of revenge thing going on. So yeah, I kind of switched to it a bit. I'm more sus of Santa than Ace. We also learned that Ace is having trouble. He has a certain or possibly has a disease that Lotus mentioned before, where he can't recognize people's faces. I forgot what it's called because it's a big medical word, but he has a hard time identifying people, which is also interesting. But we don't know how exactly that ties into anything yet. We also learned that Snake has a fake arm. That is something too. So those are the facts. I think Santa did it. I think Santa's a mastermind. It's pointing more to him, but then you're like, Aiden, the guy is the CEO of the evil company. But it's like, is this company actually evil? It's just the connecting factor. We don't actually know if they did it or not. Could be like a rogue faction for all we know. We just like, all the people are seemingly connected to this pharmaceutical company. We don't actually have any proof that they did it. But yeah, let's continue. We might as well just start here. Do we need to? Let's just see the ending. I'm excited. Maybe it'll reveal it, maybe not. Go. Oops. Where does this leave? This is us going up. Okay, perfect. Wait, no, that's... I don't want that. I don't want that at all. I want to go back into the sarcophagus room. See if anything's different there. We'll speed it a bit. Yes, yes. I just want to make sure if there's anything different. We can skip a bit. Two 9 doors. Yes, yes. Then we make the thing that everyone could have escaped if we had all 9 bracelets, which we don't because one of them broke, so we need to trim people, sadly. Unless you can make it with out a 9 or a 2 for one of them. I don't know if you can though. I guess if one of them's the culprit, then you actually only need you can trim it down to 7, or just take that bracelet if you really need it though. Okay, so everyone's happy about that. And it's the same. Yeah. I've already taught how this looks very religion-y, and it's kind of funny that Lotus or Junpei during that conversation talked about it being Lotus's idea of being kind of cult-like. The sarcophagus or coffin. This is a coffin. But a mummy could be in it, or someone, because someone was knocking. Well, guess we don't get to investigate the room. Unlucky. Yeah, I mean, you really wanted to think it's Snake if someone's trapped there, and Snake's body was faked on purpose to kidnap him, which still sounds weird, but like, who else could it be? Unless like it's Clover. She somehow like she was stuck upstairs and someone brought her and locked her in here. Could be something. I guess because we know she goes missing. But I don't know. Alright, this is where we left off. Let's go. They took the elevator up to C deck. Once there, they headed back towards the main hall and the central staircase. They didn't look happy. Junpei and his three companions looked at one another. He turned back to Seven and Lotus. Santa, Ace, and June had their own questions to ask. Seven and Lotus responded as best they could. So basically that was the exit to the whole puzzle. Okay. And she just figured it out and left by herself. Junpei thought for a moment. Finally, Ace spoke. His voice had an edge of resolve and concern. Is that a suspect point for Ace? Does the killers end up? Apparently, I think they went in pairs and picked people off when we split up. I don't know about Ace. He's so weird, dude. He has like sus on him, but at the same time, it's not like he showed any tells of being kind of nefarious where I can actually see it actively with Santa. There were quick nods all around, and the 6 remaining players spread out. Doesn't show yet. Junpei and June ran to the large hospital room together. As quickly as they could, they searched around and under the beds and in the corners.
シャワー室も見ておくか。
That's new.
シャワー室。
Where Snape's body is.
あそこには四つ葉の兄貴がいる。もしかしたら会いに行ったのかもしれない。
Interesting. Ooh, I guess that's a way to identify Snape's body is if we see his fake arm. Ooh, maybe that's the significance of the fake arm. I didn't even think of that. That's an easy way to identify his body if we can find two arms in there. June bit her lip. She knew, as Junpei did, that there was only one thing to see in the shower room, and it wasn't pleasant. Wow, I just real surprised I didn't even think about the fake arm tech.
とにかく見るだけでも見ておこう。
And what it's actually used for. Identifying the body. There's a screwdriver stuck between the door and the frame. So in the bad ending, we like gave up and then we split up, but then we just got picked off. Hopefully no one else dies while we're investigating this. I'm guessing they do though, because Lotus was already dead when we went down.
まだ入れるな。
セブンさんのおかげですね。
He's a good guy. Junpei and June slipped through the door, moved the hallway, and stepped into the shower room. Hey, the blood's gone.
確か。
そうみたいですね。
June's voice was faint as she placed her hands over her mouth. Her face looked a little green.
しかしひどい匂いだな。
The stench in the room was almost unbearable. It had grown far more unpleasant since their last visit. If Junpei had eaten a lunch, he would have had difficulty retaining it. He wanted to leave the room as soon as possible, but he had to be sure. And the only way to be sure was to check the other side of the divider.
念のため奥の方も見てくる。
June offered no resistance and nodded weakly to Junpei as he headed around the divider. Oh, the blood is there. He stopped at the corner and turned his head.
ないよな。
As he'd expected, Clover was nowhere to be seen. The only thing that was on the other side of the divider was a dead body lying in a reddish-brown puddle of dry and drying blood. A reddish-brown puddle of dry and drying blood. Okay.
どこにいるんだよお前の妹は。
Junpei whispered to what once was Snake. He'd asked rhetorically, of course, as there's no way he didn't answer. He gave a deep sigh.
しかし本当にひどいやりさんだな。顔なんて元気をとどめてないし。左腕も
Ooh. Is this it? I forgot what arm it was. I think it was right arm. Or maybe it was left. The bright white of the ulna was clearly visible through the remains of skin and muscle. Bright white. Ulna?
骨。
Ooh, Junpei got it. The pieces fell into place. Junpei remembered something Clover had told him in the laboratory.
お兄ちゃんの左腕は
Cool. Oh, okay,
普
what
通の
is
人とは
left?
違うの。
Interesting. But what can we do with this information?
事故の時に大怪我を負って
Besides that, it is now 100% confirmed that the body is the ninth man's, and it's probably, I mean, it still could be Clover in the coffin, I guess. But like, if it's Clover in the coffin, then it has to be either Snake or like Lotus and Seven that put her there, which I don't think it's Lotus or Seven. So it's either like, I mean, I guess it's still the possibility of Snake being the culprit too. Again, it's a perfect alibi to do shady stuff because everyone thinks you're dead.
そうだ。そうだよ。どうして今までこんな大事なことに気づかなかったんだ。
Clover had told Junpei that Snake's left arm was prosthetic, but the left arm of the corpse behind the divider was quite clearly a real human arm, or at least it had been once. That meant the corpse.
俊平くん
June's unsure voice at Junpei's suddenly strange behavior drew his attention back to
す
her.
まん。待たせたな。行こ
Nice. I mean, obviously we're in a different route. I just want to confirm it. We're not. But we're not immediately down there. Okay. Junpei and June headed back towards the large hospital room. They stepped through the door and out of the shower room. Down the hallway they went, searching for Clover in every corner. They had reached the stairs when Seven appeared, breathless and yelling. He looked pale and his face was drawn. Something terrible had happened. Oh, is Lotus dead? I mean, it made sense if she was. Junpei's breath caught in his throat. Seven drew a shaking hand across his face and gulped down a breath of air. Oh, Clover is dead. Interesting. Which is the first room we went through. I think, right? I then Snake knows that's open. Because he was there when Seven kept the door open. All sound ceased for Junpei. The world was an empty, muffled expanse. Then he began to hear his own breathing. Sad. Rip. June's mouth moved, but he heard nothing. She tried once more, and then her energy was gone, and she collapsed against the wall. Well, now we know it's not Clover in the coffin. So it's probably Snake, unless it's the mummy. Those are the two options now. But it's looking more like... But it doesn't make... I mean, Snake makes the most sense for this kill, because he knows the door was open. Besides him, it was only me and Seven. Or Junpei and Seven. I don't know. He could have helped her, but he hadn't, and now she was dead. So he stood there frozen in place. He forced his body to move. Each step felt like another nail pounded into his heart. Finally, he was in front of her. He knelt and placed 3 fingers against Clover's neck. No pulse. No breath. But she was still warm, and her eyes were closed. Peacefully, it would have been easy to think she was asleep. Easy, that is, were it not for the slow expanding puddle of blood beneath her. He traced its source to her back. A gash just beneath her shoulder blade. Stabbed, yep. Was the weapon a knife, perhaps? It was a knife. If it was a knife, the killer had taken it when they left. When he closed his eyes, he saw Clover's smile. Bro, it does seem like it's Snake, but then who would be in the coffin? I don't know, I'm feeling Snake for some reason. I'm feeling Snake and Santa, the 2 S's. They're the most sus. Even though Ace should be sus, for some reason he like went lower. Even after the information we got on him. Her innocent smile. Her energy. He would never see her smile again. He could have done something, he could have helped her. His stomach twisted itself into a sickening knot. Junpei lifted a limp June from the floor and carried her from the bathroom. It was a foolish question, and he knew it. Well, you know, obviously June didn't do it, by the way. Her voice was weak. Then the fever had gone down, but the emotional scars she'd received were not likely to recede as quickly. Junpei laid his hand on her shoulder, and they walked back to the bedroom. She nodded once and stared at the floor. There were 4 others in the room. Ace Lotus, Sant and Seven. They all stared at nothing, their faces drawn and tired. After a while, they drifted into the bathroom to see Clover's corpse themselves. Once everyone was back in the bedroom, Junpei walked slowly to the center of it and looked around as the slumped figures gathered there.
死体の第一発見者は
俺だよ。
Seven spoke from behind Junpei. He turned around. Seven's hand was up.
どうしてこの部屋に
決まってるだろ。四つ葉を探すためだ。するとバスルームの中に彼女の死体が。俺は慌てて部屋を飛び出し、みんなを呼んだ。カジノバーの脇にある階段の上、そこから声を放ってな。おい、みんな来てくれ。大変なことになった。
Oops. She's in the bathroom of the first class cabin. Come quick or something like that.
俺はそれだけ告げて、もう一度バスルームに引き返した。一宮、サンタ、ヤシロの3人が飛び込んできたのはそれから間もなくのことだ。だが、いくら待っても順平と紫が姿を現す気配はなかった。そこで俺はお前ら2人を探すべくあの階段を駆け下りていって、あとは言わなくてもわかるだろう。
Junpei nodded and closed his eyes. There's one more thing he needed to ask.
一つ気になってることがあるんだが。
なんだ。
お前、この部屋の探索を終えて脱出した時、ドアの隙間に譜面のプレートを挟み込んでたよな。あれはなぜだ。
だから言っただろ。ロックがかからないようにするためだよ。いつでもこの部屋に戻ってこれるように。お前まさか。
I mean, you are kind of a suspect, to be honest.
さあ、どうだろうな。返答次第によっちゃ、容疑者の最有力候補にもなりかねないぜ。
ったくよ。
Seven sighed and shook his head.
仕方ねえ。
There are 2 doors standing next to one another. He opened the one on the right. The safe one.
クローゼット。
Yes, you remember Junpei. Seven stepped inside. He stood in front of one of the shelves that filled it and gestured towards a small box. The box was a small metal cube. He looked at Junpei.
理由はこいつにある。この金庫だ。結局部屋から脱出するまで俺たちはこいつを開くことができなかった。だがもしかしたら中に何か重要なもんでも隠されてるかもしれねえだろう。そう思うと気になって仕方がなくてな。ひょっとしたらいつかどこかでこいつのダイヤル番号が判明することになるかもわからねえ。そうなった時にわざわざ表の5の扉を開くのは面倒だ。だから出口の方の扉に譜面のプレートを。あった。
It's logical. Like, made sense. Junpei nodded and looked at the safe. He grabbed the handle and shook it.
まあ、開かないな。
It was locked as it had been when Seven found it. There's one change, however. Just underneath the safe was a pile of fine reddish-brown powder.
サビだ。
Junpei stared at it, considering.
ここにサビが落ちてるってことは、
Water touched it recently?
誰かがこの金庫の扉を開いたってことは。
Someone that's been in water or something? I don't know. Junpei left the closet. Seven followed him back to the bedroom. It was cold and quiet. No one spoke. they sat frozen in place by shock and grief and fatigue. I just remembered, I guess a suspicious point about Ace is the fact that he found the drug that his pharmaceutical company mates on the ship. I just thought it was a pretty big fact that we should consider. I kind of forgot about that for some reason, but just looking at Ace's face made me remember that, because he had that kind of look before in the door number 3 route. The room felt tiny and oppressive, and the thick metallic smell of blood filled the room. Junpei turned as he headed for the living room. Anything to get out of here, there. As quickly as they could, they searched around and under the beds and in the corners. His eyes caught on the door. The door that led to the passageway of door number 5. Ooh, this would be really good. Yes. I totally didn't even think of that, even though it's so obvious. Quietly, he pushed open the door. The smell hit him like a blow to the face. His lungs contracted, unwilling to inhale such fetid air. Acid boiled from the base of his stomach, churning what little food was there into a violent froth. Blurk! It was too much for him, and he vomited. A thin stream of yellow water and bile spattered onto the floor. He wiped his mouth weakly and stared at the dead body. Okay, so there's a corpse. Weird. Huh? Okay, well, let's get Junpei's inspection before I make any comments. What remained of its intestines had slid out onto the floor. The pool of blood that framed it was half dry, but so thick that it had taken on a texture not unlike that of an egg yolk prepared sunny side up. On the floor, next to the broken mass of the man's head, lay his glasses, cracked, spidering across the lenses. The bloodstains near them had already dried like scabs on the floor. That was when he noticed. There you go. Something. But now, it was gone. The number 9 bracelet was gone. Had someone taken it? He was turning it over and over in his mind when he heard Seven's voice. It had drifted out to him from the living room. Junpei walked slowly out of the hallway. Seven looked up as Junpei entered the room. He thought for a moment before he responded. Technically, it wasn't a lie. He hadn't found anything in a way. In fact, that was the problem. Something he'd expected to find hadn't been there. The 9th man's bracelet. I was expecting the body to be gone, but there's 2 corpses. Which is really freaking weird. I don't understand. Unless that's Zero's corpse and Snake freaking killed Zero. I don't know. Seven led Junpei back to the bathroom. As Clover's corpse came into view, he felt his heart flip and then fall to the bottom of his stomach. Something between a sigh and a groan escaped his lips. His voice was hollow and empty.
もう一度改めて四つ葉の死体を調べてみたんだ。無残なもんだった。背中から一突き、ナイフか何かで刺されたらしい。それとこいつを見つけたな。
As he spoke, he moved around to Clover's head. He knelt down and flipped open her right hand.
なんだ
Tech? She was holding a piece of paper.
中はまだ見てねえ。現場保存は捜査の鉄則だからな。と言いつつ、実は一つだけ拝借させてもらったものもあったりするんだが。
He wasn't sure what he meant, but it likely didn't matter. Well, it could be the bracelet, which kind of matters. Is it 7? The paper was more
広
important.
げるぞ
He picked it up and carefully opened it. There were 2 sentences written on it.
真実は去り真実は去り真実は去ったああ真実は今ユンデの闇に
Clover's, if this is your last message, why do you have to be so cryptic?
なんだこりゃ。暗号か
I guess maybe so the culprit wouldn't twist it or whatever. Seven peered over Junpei's shoulder at the note. Junpei stepped away from Clover's body and into the living room. He began to pace, attempting to decode the note.
暗号か
The first clue was likely the phrase sinister hand. Sinister hand means left hand? Probably. Oh god. Is it possible to make bad choices? Maybe. I mean, left hand made sense.
弓を持つ方って左手のことだ
I did not know that. It's still possible, dude. Oh, don't do this to me.
左手には何がある
Junpei looked at his own left arm. At the bracelets on his wrist. Oh, I was talking about. I thought the bracelets might have been on the right hand, but apparently they are on the left hand. Interesting. That was last video, though.
手の闇というのはこのバングルと何か関係があるんじゃないか
He examined the bracelet closely.
一番の左右についている粒子らしきものか左右右左真実は去った
I am not deciphering it. Help me out.
真実
Truth. Gone. Maybe those 2 words? Okay, well, if we're logicking this out. Truth had gone. Truth had gone. What else could gone and truth mean? How about reading them backwards? Yeah, no. How about switching the sentence around? Let's read it out loud
ひ
first.
らがなにするんじゃない真実去った
I don't notice it.
ひらがなにしても特に意味はなさそうだ
Yeah. Time for a different idea. Switching the sentences around.
ローマ字にするんじゃないの SHINJITSU
I'm just making sure it's not the backward stuff, which it's not. That makes literally no sense. Unless it's gone, had truth, and hand sinister of the darkness. No. Okay, it doesn't work. Gone had truth.
だからなんだって感じローマ字に変換してもひらがなにする
I didn't mean to do that. There's no way this is it, right?
逆から読むんじゃない奪殺人
know. I just wanted to hear you say it. Enoch.
確かに意味はありそう。とりあえず保留で。
Truth gone. Those two words. What else could gone and truth mean?
英語にするんじゃないのか。真実は正しさ、真相という意味で解釈するなら、それを英訳したものはライトになる。一方、サッタは一語で表すとすると、まずは去る、リーブの過去形のレフト。当然、ライト、レフトにはそれぞれ右左という意味もあるから、真実を右、サッタを左としても解釈できる。
Okay. Right had left, right had left, and right had left. Ah. Now right is asleep in the darkness of the sinister hand. Junpei looked at the bracelet again.
バングルの左と右。もしかしてこの突起物か。そう。
Just pressed them? Oh! Okay, yes. So I was having a hard time of like visualizing what he was talking about, but it's these little buttons. Right has left, right has left. Right, left, right, left, right, left. Wasn't it? Right. What is it? Oh no. Okay, truth. Right has right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Right, left, right, left, right. Right, left, right, left, right, left. None of them work though. I'm glad I guessed this one, but right, left. Wait, it doesn't work. Oh, whatever. Let's go middle. In before dead? I don't want to die. Truth equals right and gone equals left. Unless you're not including the last sentence. But still. Oh boy, I'm nervous. Right, left. Right, left. Right, left. Right. So it should be 7, right? 7, and it ends with right. But these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. Yeah, they're all 6. So it has to be just be right, left, right, left, right, left. It has to be this then. And then? Huh? What? One after another, 8 numbers flashed on and then off of the face of Junpei's bracelet. What the heck? He checked one more time to be sure. You can change it? Oh, those are the dead... Wait. What? I don't understand.
あ？おい、なんだよ、今の数字は。
Junpei didn't answer. I don't know. Are those the people we've been paired with? No, because there's no 7. Huh? I have no idea. And we've only been paired with Clover once. Or is those the... I don't know. He couldn't answer. He had no idea what they were either. Besides, he was sure he would forget the numbers and the order they came in if he said anything. Is it, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Is it like, I don't know. Why is there 2 3s and 2 1s? It's tripping me out. Muttering the number to himself over and over, Junpei headed towards the bedroom. Maybe, I don't know. Shit. I was trying to say something about Ace. Because again, like, he could have that disease that Lotus said, or it could be a bait, and my original idea was he couldn't really match the people on the cards to the numbers because he was categorizing them in a different way. I don't know if that's true or not, but kind of an idea. Oh, it's for the safe. I'm so dumb. Lol. Alright, safe tech. Wow. But someone's opened the safe apparently. Before long, he found himself in front of the safe again. Its lock was the only device he could think of that required a sequence of numbers such as the ones he'd just discovered. Besides, someone had opened the safe at least once already. Had Clover come to the bedroom to open it? Junpei slowly dialed the numbers the bracelet had given him. Finished. Bingo. A small telltale sound of a lock opening. He grabbed the handle, took a deep breath, and pulled it up. Notes. Okay. Inside was a piece of paper. It was roughly the same size as the one Clover had been holding. Junpei picked it up. This was what it said. Fact number 1. The nonary game was played once before 9 years ago. Fact number 2. The person with the number 2 bracelet attended the game 9 years ago. Okay, so Snake played in it. Fact number 3. It was planned by the following 4 people. Cradle Pharmaceuticals CEO, Gentaro Hongyo, Cradle Pharmaceutical Chief of Staff, Nagisa Nijisaka, which might be Lotus, and she was lying. Oh my god, is there 4 people? It just doesn't add up though. Santa, Ace, Lotus. Oh, well that's... Huh? Okay, so that's Santa, majority shareholder. I'm guessing Nagisa might actually be Lotus. I have no idea who would this guy be. Oh, it could be the 9th man. And this is a revenge thing, but it doesn't really make sense because my revenge idea was with Santa. Okay, let's see all the facts though. I must punish them for the innocent lives they sacrificed. This is the only warning they will receive. That innocent souls might be saved, I now state the truth. 0. Still could be Santa. But I mean, the only other person is literally June. Or it could be 7. I forgot about 7. How are we flowing? Still didn't hit it. We're not finishing tonight, huh? I want to hit the flow though. There were 5 people waiting for him in the bedroom. Ace, Lotus, Santa, 7, and June. I think the 9th man was probably one of those 4 people. And then it's just Ace, Lotus, and June. It made sense for all of them. And that means Lotus was bullshitting about her children. Unless she didn't know her children were the test subjects. And same with Santa. I don't know. But it's those 3 plus the 9th man, I think. He looked at each one of them in turn, then slowly placed his hands in the pocket of his vest.
みんな悪いがちょっと付き合ってもらえないか。
付き合う？
大病室に移動してもらいたいんだ。
どうして？
確かめておきたいことがあるんだよ。
確かめるって何を？
俺が思ってる人間が本当に犯人なのかどうかをだ。
犯人ってお前。
ああ、その通り。
Well, the only one Junpei knows for sure is Ace is the CEO. He doesn't know that Santa invested in this timeline, and he could know about Lotus actually.
もしかしたら分かっちまったかもしれないんだ。
Oh boy.
誰がニルスと四つ葉を殺したのか。
But what about the fate arm not being there? The atmosphere in the room changed. Grief was suddenly gone, replaced by attention like a strap of leather, stretched to its limit. 5 sets of eyes stared at Junpei. He pretended not to
とにか
notice.
く大病室に移動してくれ。すべてはそこで話そう。
Then, almost as if on cue, the bell began to ring. They all heard it. It was the bell from the clock in the main staircase. 3 or 4? 4. The bell 5? Oh shit, we only have an hour. The bell rang 5 times, then ceased. We've only got an hour left.
時間がない。行こう。
Slowly, one by one, they followed Junpei out of the bedroom.
さて、話を始める前に一つだけ頼みがある。
No! Stop it. Sorry. We did hit it. Okay. Good. Good. Because even if we didn't hit it, I was gonna stop it here, guys. Come on. It's like the biggest cliffhanger of the series so far. You know you gotta give you a giant cliffhanger. Next time you hear Junpei's reasoning. Who do I think he's gonna... Again, I think I'm pretty sure it's just Ninth Man, Snake, or not Snake, Lotus, Clover. What am I saying? It's Ninth Man, Lotus, Ace, Santa. And... Huh. I'm just thinking about the Snake statement. Because it kind of sounded like Zero wanted to punish Snake too. I mean, the only answers are 7. Who, I mean, it could be. What if 7 is actually 0? But, like, he did something to make him lose his memory. And he... Oh, that would be super spiced. It could be June, because June's freaking weird. Not because she's a trivia queen, but because she's, she acts weird. You know, in the kind of spooky way where she freaks out a lot. Yeah, tension's high. Someone will be ousted. I'm invested. But you're gonna have to wait for that next time. Thanks for watching now. See you next time. Bye. No opening. Why do I what? I don't know. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye.